This is the 2023 BMW M2, and this is the 2026 BMW M2CS. Kind of. I'm going to show you guys how to make your M2 into the M2CS and compare them on their stats to see how they stack up together. But first, I'm going to enjoy the M2 as I drive around on this swervy road in front of me, and then we'll get to upgrading. Let's roll. Alright, well, this has been fun. Let's get to the festival so we can upgrade this thing. Alright, we're not really at the festival. I went to my house instead. But anyways, I'm just going to show you guys how to upgrade it to be the M2CS. I say that with a grain of salt, or air quotes, whatever you will. Because obviously it's still the same car. They didn't put the M2CS in Forza. I'm just upgrading it to have the same stats. Changing the paint job. It's as close as we can get, unfortunately, until they do add the M2CS, which will hopefully be in the next game. But the numbers we're looking for is 523 horsepower. It'll be rear-wheel drive, an 8-speed automatic, and 479 pound-feet of torque. We're going to get as close as we can with that, so we need the race intake, a race exhaust. Sounds a bit better there. We'll do race pistons and a race oil. As you can see, that's 523 horsepower, 468 foot-pounds of torque. So we're Pretty close. Gonna get the stance nice and good, make it a little bit heavier, and then take a little bit of weight back out. Sport clutch, the sport driveline, and an 8-speed transmission. This comes with a 6-speed manual, but the M2CS has an 8-speed auto. Better tires, wider tires, and we're gonna make this stance real nice. I don't know why this car starts with the tires sucked way in, but it looks horrible. It looks so much better with this stance. And then I've got some wheels I want to put on there too. So we end up being 523 horsepower instead of 453. It weighs a little bit less too, stickier tires. And it has the 8-speed auto instead of the 6-speed manual. And now for the paint. This is by Coxis, I guess. I don't really know how to say his name. And it's just called M2CS 2025. And it looks really nice. I could probably do it realistically myself, but this guy looks really good, so we'll go ahead and use his. Alright, let's go for a drive. This purple paint looks fantastic. Pretty big differences there. It's definitely just going to perform overall a lot better. I think it's more enjoyable to drive too. It's got a little bit more power. It likes to step that back end out a little bit more. Looks a lot better, I think. And yeah, it's a new thing that we don't have in the game. So I really love having multiple different versions of each car, which you'll see in the coming videos. And yeah, this M2CS is sick. I'm going to compare them in their quarter mile time and show those up on screen so y'all can see, and then we'll show the times after that as well. Well, we got a 12.6 for the stock M2. The M2CS got an 11.6, so a whole second faster. And then for the heck of it, I raced my drag racing build here for the M2 with 920 horsepower. And that got a 9.1, so that's quite a bit faster. I just wanted to throw that in there to show you what, a 1,000 horsepower M2 could do. But I'm going to break down kind of all the specs and stats on the cars back to back, and I'll try and show those on screen so they're easier to keep track of. So the regular M2 does 4.2 seconds 0 to 60 and 10.3 seconds 0 to 100. The M2CS does 3.6 seconds to 60 and 8.3 to 100. My drag racing build does 1.5 seconds to 60 mile an hour and 4.3 to 100, which is insane. The top speed of those, the M2 is 186.8, the M2CS is 196.7, and my drag build is 229.5. And then the braking distance from 100 miles per hour to 0 is 300.5 feet for the M2, 247.5 feet for the M2CS, and because my drag build is on drag tires, it's a little farther, 280.3 feet. And then, as I said, quarter mile times, 12.6 for the M2, 11.6 for the M2CS, and 9.1 for the drag build. So just to summarize everything, the M2CS is pretty cool. If you have two M2s, which you can get one now in the seasonal playlist, you need to get 80 points for the whole month. If you have two M2s, or even more, I would definitely recommend putting these upgrades on it. I'll share the download for these upgrades and put the code up on screen if you're curious and don't want to go through and manually do it all. Just click a few buttons and have it all done for you. I would definitely recommend having at least one of your M2s as an M2CS. It's pretty sick. There's a bunch of different paint coats, like different colors the M2CS comes in. I just like the purple one the best. That's why I picked it. But yeah, definitely a cool car. Hope we can get it in the next game for real, because it'll always be a little better than what I can do. And yeah, comment down below what other cars you guys want to see. This has been the Forza Car Collector. I'll see you next time. Peace.